Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite back at you with my thoughts for the week. You know, I spend a reasonable amount of time pretty much on a daily basis, while we're prepping breakfast and while I'm drinking coffee and stuff like that, perusing news channels, news sites, other prepper channels and stuff like that. And the fear-mongering that I see going on in a lot of the prepper channels right now is really starting to get under my skin. There's a lot of stuff out there that we need to be concerned about, that's for sure. But the fear-mongering as an impetus to be preppers or be better preppers or to do more prepping or whatever is really falling flat, at least with me. Stick around, I want to share some additional thoughts. So when I hear a lot of the other, competition or other prepper channels and some of the information that they're presenting and providing is good information to have. It's the kind of information that I think we all need to strive to make sure that we are up on, that we're knowledgeable about, and we're talking about things like the economy, the stock market, inflation, the immigration crisis at our southern border, global issues like the Great Reset, the New World Order, that kind of stuff, and what the plans may be for the future to keep us all enslaved against some kind of a reset, New World Order kind of a thing. We'll see how that turns out. Domestically, we've got issues not only with immigration at the border and inflation, but our supply chain still isn't fixed. The baby formula stuff, that's still not fixed. There's still a vast amount of shortages going on there. It's just not quite in the news as much as it was. The price of gas, the price of diesel, the impact of that on our farmers that is contributing to a perceived food shortage, the war in Ukraine, political upheaval around the world in places like where the presidents and prime ministers of countries are just abruptly resigning, like in the UK and in Sri Lanka and in Italy. Those things we need to know about, but let me get to the point. We've got issues domestically with the pandemic. I guess it's still a national emergency, so we've got that to deal with, the new variants that are popping up, issues with this new thing, the monkeypox stuff, and issues with climate change and all kinds of cool stuff. What I don't see happening with that is the solutions. What should we be doing about all those issues? And you know what? There's not much that we can do to change the course of inflation as we are experiencing it today, to change the war in Ukraine, to change the political upheaval that we see in countries where their prime ministers and presidents are resigning. There's nothing that you and I as individual people can do. What we can do is understand, dig into it, find out what the root causes are for some of these issues that we're experiencing, and learn from what's going on today. So I urge us all to stay in touch with the news, to stay in touch with the other prepper channels, but we have to look at it slightly differently than I think just stocking up on more food really is going to take. As we progress along our trek here, knowing exactly what's going on out there, doing our own research, comparing the outcomes of that research against your own particular plans for the future, whether they be prepping related or economic related or income growth related, any of that kind of stuff. It's imperative that we understand what's really going on underneath the surface so that we can make adjustments and decisions that are going to work best for us as individuals, as families, as communities, so that we know how we can respond to this. We can't change it. Even voting come this November isn't really going to change pretty much anything. It's going to shift it a little bit, but is it going to solve all the problems? No. As we get right down to it, looking at your own plans, your own strategies, your own tactics on how you're planning to get through the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. That's why it's important to follow this kind of stuff so that you can look for the solutions that are going to work best for you. And for the book recommendation of the week, I highly recommend that whatever you do, drop whatever you're doing right now and go pick up a copy of Pete Hegseth's book, The Battle for the American Mind. It is an eye-opening expose of what's been going on in our educational system. And the best part about it is that he's got a detailed plan on how to fix it. It's absolutely well worth your investment in time to read Pete's book. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.